Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among the rolling hills, there lived a young woman named Elara. Elara was known far and wide for her unwavering compassion towards all living beings. She would spend her days tending to the sick, feeding the hungry, and comforting the lonely. Despite facing her own struggles and challenges, Elara always found solace in helping others. One day, a traveler passing through the village witnessed Elara's acts of compassion and was deeply moved. The traveler approached Elara and asked her, "Why do you dedicate your life to helping others when you could be focusing on yourself?" Elara simply smiled and replied, "In giving to others, I find the truest form of joy and fulfillment. Compassion is the light that guides me through even the darkest of times." Impressed by Elara's wisdom and kindness, the traveler decided to stay in the village for a while to learn from her. As days turned into weeks, the traveler began to see the impact of compassion, not only on those receiving it, but also on Elara herself. He realized that true compassion is a gift that benefits both the giver and the receiver. One evening, as they sat by the fire, the traveler shared his realization with Elara. He said, "I used to believe that focusing on oneself was the key to happiness, but your example has shown me that true fulfillment comes from caring for others." Elara nodded in understanding and said, "Compassion is a seed that, when planted in the heart, blooms into a garden of love and understanding." As the days passed, the traveler and Elara continued to spread compassion throughout the village. Their acts of kindness inspired others to join them in their mission to make the world a better place. Together, they showed that even the smallest gestures of compassion can have a ripple effect that reaches far beyond what we can imagine. Eventually, the time came for the traveler to continue on his journey. Before he left, he turned to Elara and said, "Thank you for teaching me the power of compassion. I will carry your lessons with me wherever I go." Elara embraced him warmly and replied, "Remember, true compassion knows no boundaries. It is a force that can unite us all in love and understanding." As the traveler disappeared over the horizon, Elara stood watching, her heart full of gratitude for the lessons they had shared. She knew that the impact of their compassion would continue to spread, touching the lives of all who crossed their path. And in that moment, she understood that true happiness comes from giving of oneself without expecting anything in return. In the quiet of the evening, as the stars twinkled overhead, Elara whispered a silent prayer for the world. She prayed that more hearts would open to the power of compassion, that more hands would reach out in kindness, and that more souls would be touched by the beauty of selfless love. And as she closed her eyes, she felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that compassion would always be the guiding light in her life. And so, the story of Elara and the traveler became a legend in the village, a tale of the transformative power of compassion. It served as a reminder to all who heard it that in a world filled with darkness, a single act of kindness can illuminate the path towards a brighter tomorrow. And as the villagers carried on their daily lives, they did so with a renewed sense of purpose and a commitment to spreading compassion wherever they went. In conclusion, the story of Elara and the traveler teaches us that true fulfillment and joy come from embracing compassion in our hearts. When we open ourselves to the needs of others, we not only make a difference in their lives, but also enrich our own. Compassion is a force that transcends boundaries and unites us in a shared humanity. Let us remember Elara's example and strive to be beacons of light in a world that sometimes feels dim. Let compassion be our compass, guiding us towards a brighter, more compassionate future for all.